Hey everyone, it's been a while since I posted an update video like this. I've been fully deep into development of Dharmayuddha, the game I'm working on, and that's honestly where all my time and energy has gone. So today's video is a quick update on some of the technical progress I've made, especially around combat systems, animations, AI behavior, etc., built on top of ACF. These aren't really full breakdowns or tutorials, just a glimpse, just a quick look at 5 of the systems I've been working on lately. They've had a great impact on how the game feels during combat and also during gameplay, right? So, like hit reactions, chooses, dodges, AI behavior, the movement, everything. So if anything catches your interest, let me know. I'll probably do deeper videos on each one of these individually soon. The first one is motion matching combat animations in GASP. So I've been diving into motion matching recently using Unreal's GASP system, thanks to Zero Game Dev and Glideye, who started this amazing tutorials on combat animations, custom animations. I've been loving it, especially with choosers. It makes building custom movesets for different weapons like bows. Like you see here, this is a single-handed sword, so I can bring out the bow and it will switch very nicely to the bow's animations. Like it's a complete animation, both upper and lower, they are working in tandem. You can do all kinds of stuff. So it's basically how motion matching is supposed to be. Previously, we were using upper body overlays on top of basic locomotion, like the GASP's locomotion on top. We had upper body overlays. It worked, but you could always feel that disconnect because you had just one idle pose for a particular move set or a weapon you were carrying. But with this, you can see, right? So you can walk backwards, backward left, backward right. It has all the animations you need. I think this is the way to go. So now with motion matching, a fully custom pose search database, I've replaced almost half of the default animations with my own tailored sets, as you can see. Each weapon type has now its own full body combat movement, smooth, grounded, and cohesive. And the best part, the animations now play out exactly how the animators intended it. No layering tricks, but it's just clean, reactive combat flow. Alright, so the next one is a ScreenFX component, along with advanced effects component, which also has footstep effects, advanced footstep effects based on fall events, of course, ScreenFX Manager, which is on the controller. A while back, I dropped a post in ACF's Discuss Tech Ideas channel about a concept I had regarding the ScreenFX Manager. It has been improved a lot. It's obviously, along with the post-process material, post-process screen effects, which you expect it to be, there's more to it. So you can obviously do post-process material, add different curve interpolation types like curve constant. You can actually define your own curves, target weights, effect durations. But now there is also an introduction to ScreenFX events. It's basically the screen effects are triggered. When the screen effects are triggered, you can raise any kind of events you want. You can create your own events. For example, I created this or my own glass take damage camera shake. So this is basically a BP camera shake event, and I've just added a shake class to it. So on hit, the camera will shake. And the beauty is, like, you can define your own events. You can write your own events. This is just one of the events which I've written, which is the camera shake event. But you get the point, right? And apart from this, I've extended the ACF character effects config data asset to include also advanced effects like footstep effects. So now, if you have followed my previous tutorial about using custom footsteps in GASP, this helps with that. This is a new system which actually is very highly configurable. So you can define the surface type and you can add the audio banks related to that. Of course, you can obviously add default effects, and effects, under effects, you can also define full event walk. You can define the full events and what would happen on each. Like, for example, if I'm walking, I want a different, Niagara particle on the footsteps. If I'm running, it's going to be different. If I'm landing, it's going to be a bigger one. So similarly, so you can do a lot of stuff. So next one is a chooser-based actions workflow. This one's been a game changer for how I'm handling things like blocks, parries, dodges, counters, and hit reactions, everything. I've basically moved everything over to a fully chooser-based action workflow, as you can see here, right? So I've actually made a full video on this about a month ago for those who missed it, where I dive into the limitations of the section-based montages and why this new system, chooser-based actions specifically, and apart from that, since then I've actually evolved the system even further. I've also built a tag-driven setup, like you can actually output something. For example, this is a basic example of a block using a sword, which like single-hand sword. So I've actually created this, right? So it will select one of these randomly, and if this is getting selected, it will output to animation category this tag, which is animation source samurai double hand right. So I've actually categorized my actions and the animation montages based on asset packs, or it could be based on, if it is double hand, single hand, or if it is something else. So basically you can categorize stuff. And why is it a good thing? Because you can chain reaction. So what it basically means, like if I tag montages like single hand, double hand, or animation pack like NCG or anything, for example, I have this bow, and I can also block with my bow, and I have a lot of animations pack. I've tagged them. So the benefit is that when there is a block hit reaction like this one, I can actually give them a bias. Like if I was doing that pose through the chooser in the block, then it is going to play its corresponding reaction. You see how powerful it becomes, like you have control over everything. And on top of that, you can do chooser related stuff, like you can add float differences. This is my defense stability. This is my custom logic in C++, which I have written to choose between the block hits reaction. The same thing applies to the sword block hits. It's a lot of them, and I've actually tagged it my way, like using the animation backup which I'm using, like Ghost Samurai in this pack. Along with it also has double hand left, double hand right, so it's basically well controlled. And then there's a defense stability. So based on that, if the defense stability falls too low, like 20, then I'm triggering a the defense broken montages. So basically you have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. So basically any kind of block reaction cleanly lead into a counter or even an execution. So you can chain this all the way through. For example, if you do this block hit, and in one of these, if you have this does not have one, let's see if there's a parry one. I have an ACF counter enable notify state. So in the counter chooser, the counter attacks animation montage chooser, I can chain it. I can select one of these to play. If it was a double hand Ghost Samurai, then I will play its corresponding counter. I can have a lot of control, and it's so easy to. It's just plug and play. You just tweak everything here. You don't have to write anything. You just tweak. It's actually fun this way. This is actually game designing. You're configuring your game the way it should feel. It's modular, easy to debug, because you can just click here and it will actually in real time show you what is being chosen. For example, I can just show you, right? So let me bring it out here, and let's go and let's fight the enemy. So you see here, you can see it's been chosen based on this, based on stability, and because I probably had used the block double hand right. I'm actually also using for hit reactions. I have some custom ones for choosing the blood effects. I have it for counter attack. I have it for dodge as well, and you can have nested choosers as well, right? So CHD front, back, and everything. You can just keep on configuring and adding stuff. So it is definitely scalable. And with the official ACF chooser coming in the next ACF update, which I've already merged locally, after that is released in the next update, I'll be doing a proper follow-up devlog focused on the block parry counter workflow, as promised to some folks in the ACF Discord. This one's a subtle but powerful system, the Imminent threat component. It's a very lightweight component I added to track incoming attacks or danger. Whether it's a sword swing, or a projectile, an arrow, or a bullet, doesn't matter, or even an environmental hazard. It holds a live queue of threats with info like the source, direction, timing, time of impact, computed direction, computed time left, the projectile data estimation. It can also estimate if the projectile will hit you, all those kind of useful features. The best part is not running on tick. It only checks on demand. For example, when I press dodge, it queries threats in real time, gets the most imminent threat possible to see if I'm able to dodge the most imminent threat, which is, in this case, is a sword swing, right? I'm swinging at me. This makes perfect dodge systems, not just possible, but accurate as well, because it can accurately, trace, like if a sword is going to hit you and how long till it hits you, or if an arrow is coming at you, if it will miss you or not. You can write those systems quite easily then. It queries because it queries in real time to see if it dodged something, right? So this just makes perfect dodge system not just possible but accurate, like I said. And it's same for AI as well. This gives AI the ability to also make smarter reactive decisions like blocking or stepping away from something, or just dodging, right? So even AI can dodge if he has this ability, like if he has the imminent threat component of it. It's all tag driven and extendable. Like you can add a threat type, like threat. You can add your own threat types, like threat.melee, threat.projectile, threat. Fist, or whatever you want, or a spell. It's up to you. And since it's modular, you can use it across.
Alright, this is where things start to feel really satisfying, because it's implementation. Perfect dodge and smart dodge for AI. So I've set up the full perfect dodge implementation right inside the dodge chooser action. And the moment you trigger the dodge at the exact right moment, you will trigger a clean slow-mo after image, and those cinematic reactions you have seen in games like Black Myth Wukong. Under the hood, it's powered by a few key parameters like timing window. Basically, if the sword or the projectile, whatever, is going to hit you within 0.25 seconds and 0.1 seconds, and you then if you press the dodge button, then it will be considered perfect dodge. I think 0.25 is the sweet spot that I've found. I think most likely Black Myth Wukong also uses 0.25. Apart from that, yeah, the imminent threat component is working quietly behind the scenes, feeding all the data at the moment you dodge. No tick, just precise on-demand checks, just like I mentioned in the last section. And what about the AI, right? The AI, they've got smart dodge too. So there are two options right now which I've added. One is random, so it is going to just randomly dodge from -80 to +80, which is the float direction, like whole 360, I guess. Also, they do that by also reading threats, like from the imminent threat component, checking for clear paths as well. Like if there's an obstacle, you can configure that 200. It does a spear trace to check that, and checking for clear paths and dodging, like they actually get it. The result: combat that reads your inputs and reacts back with zero randomness, just clean logic and clean motion. Alright, I didn't include this one in the original 5 because it's kind of a beast in itself, and I think it deserves its own video. So this is Advanced Combat Behavior component. I've been building this since over a month now, and though I designed it for boss fights, it's not just for boss fights with dramatic three-phase deaths. It scales beautifully from cinematic duels to regular foot soldiers as well, all running on the same system. It's just configured through data assets. It breaks down AI into phases, states, and actions, letting them shift behavior based on any conditions you wish, like attribute statistics or anything. It's regular ACF conditions, basically. Here are the phases. So you can define, everything is tag driven, by the way. So you can define any number of phases through tags, and each phase then has phase conditions, like what activates that particular phase. And then there are on enter events. You can create your own events. You can write your own events and blueprints, like maybe trigger a cinematic if you enter a phase. You can write that as well quite easily. Then you have combat states which are eligible inside that phase. For example, there's phase 1, then I can only do, for this particular boss which I'm configuring, I can do melee, and he can chase as well. So melee and he can chase, two combat states, and each combat state can then have its own actions which are weighted. So I can do heavy attack, I can do normal attack with some weights, right? It's quite simple, and obviously they will have their conditional multipliers. What conditional multipliers is, like basically if a condition is met, then it will multiply its weight. So let's say if let's say if the opponent is or the opponent, the target, is dodging a lot, you can write here, add a condition and just write that he's dodging a lot, and then multiply the heavy attack with 5, maybe just so that the heavy attack occurs more often. So you can do a lot of stuff with this. And obviously, after the combat states, you can define multiple phases. Like in phase 2, you can give him different combat states, or you give him the same combat states but different actions. Like you've usually seen, right? Like after 50% health, the phase 2 comes, and now the boss has new skills, so you can easily add those things. The next thing, and also it's not just passive logic, right? It also has reactive defense rules. So if you throw out, some kind of attacks, the AI can immediately respond. That's how the smart dodge behavior I showed earlier was also configured. So there's the actions.shield. The AI has action.shield. It's basically in ACF, it's action.block. I call it shield. So the activation chance, which I've put right now, 0, because I was testing out the other reactive. defense, which is the action.dodge. And you have seen earlier that he was dodging a lot. So right now the weight of activation chance is 1 and this is 0, so it will always dodge. And it also has a defense condition on it, which is check incoming attack. This is basically the imminent threat component which we wrote. So it just checks that if you are getting hit by an attack or something is going to attack you within a time range, 0 means it does not check for time, if it only checks if there's an attack. I can also add, like, if something is going to attack you in the next 0.3 time range, then you have a 1 deviation chance. Here it's 1 and there's 0, so this becomes 100% chance to do an action to dodge, right? So if I can just, so if I quickly show you, so when I attack, it's supposed to dodge. The AI is dodging, as you see. Nice. And if I, let's say, make this 0.2 and let him do 0.7, this need not add up to 1 if these are just weights. So action.shield, so he's now going to try to block. So he's blocking and also dodging as well. Nice. So this is what reactive defense rules are. Really powerful. This gives you the enemy, the AI, the power to defend himself as well. Yeah, and there's also adaptive learning. So if you play predictably, like spamming dodge or staying back or something, then they will adapt to that behavior. So it gives adaptive learning AI the actual AI capabilities, like it can learn. So it works in this way, like if you, let's say, parry a lot, or maybe you can just add one more, that if the target, which is me, if I, let's say, I'm dodging a lot, right? So if I dodge a lot, and the observed time window is like if within 5 seconds and the action count 2. So this is about like how to define a spam, like what would you call a spam. So like if 5 seconds, if I dodge 2 times, or maybe 4 times, or anything. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reward an action which then the AI will have a higher weight to perform. So for example, if I'm dodging a lot, then I can boost a skill which the AI has for an AoE attack or something. So this is the most interesting part, like AI will learn from you. So if your action.parry, if you're parrying a lot, I'm just changing up the modifiers. I'm giving the attack a 20 and the heavy attack is 0, so don't heavy attack because I'm going to parry it anyway. And the action attack is basically combo graph driven action, so it's going to be like 3 or 4 chained attacks from the AI, and that may break the parry. That's why I'm giving it a 20 multiplier. So there's really a fun way of handling learning abilities in the AI. And force transitions is, as it says, like you force a transition into a different combat state for temporarily or something like that. This system is already running in my AIs already, as I've shown you in my earlier sections, and it's only getting deeper from here. I'll do a proper breakdown soon, but yeah, this one's kind of the core of everything now, and I'll definitely be doing some videos on it for this particular component later on. That's it for now. Appreciate you sticking through the update. Oh, and yeah, I've just spun up a new Discord for Dharmayuddha, my game, and my game dev side of things. It's super early, literally just a couple of us in there right now, but if you want to hang around, ask stuff, or just follow the game more closely, you're welcome to hop in. I'm also always lurking around in the ACF Discord, especially if it's anything technical or related to anything, any sections which you saw in this video. You'll always find me there too. You can ask questions there itself. So alright, see you in the next one.